So, bro, when you now look at let's look at the playbook of what goes on. So, with the artists, yeah, bro. Like, because I have a perspective. Yeah, I'm like, many artists today, they go into a system that will end up destroying their relationship with the manager.
Yeah.
Or there's many things that's gonna come into an artist's peripheral view that may destabilize that relationship.
Yeah.
When you manage Dutch, do you feel there was ever any outside interference from, maybe not on purpose, from the label that maybe made you and your artist then have disagreement, or even with Morrison, and it doesn't have to be the label, it could be anything within the industry, it could be a booking agent, it could be a promoter, it could be...
No, not really, you know. I was more like the go-between, me and the team was the go-between between the artist and the label to stop the artist attacking the label. Because at the time, and I've noticed it, there's an atmosphere in music globally where it's us versus them. I'm getting into business with this person, but they're the enemy. You know what I mean? And then,
Are they wrong to feel like that though?
it's not smart to feel like that. No, it's definitely not smart to feel like that. I don't think... There may be positions, it depends on the kind of deal you have, it depends on the brand that you have, it depends on the vision you have for an artist and your team. But I think, personally, you shouldn't get into business with people that you have that mentality with, personally. But obviously I can't comment on everyone's situation because some people have really been wrong. Some people ain't been allowed to release music because they're having vision and sound choice issues with their labels, so they're not dropping that. And that's not good for no artist. You're going to end up hating your label after that. I even have it in my own artist sometimes, you know what I mean? So I can understand that situation there. But case by case. But personally for me, this is what my advice to every artist is this. If you want to be the biggest in the world, apart from Bad Bunny, show me the big top 10 artists in the world that's not with a major label. Show me them. Show me who in the top 10 globally, let's say top 25, not with a major label. There's a reason for that. I don't want to be the person that goes against what works and facts. And it's like, I feel like in this country, well, even globally, there's such a negative spin on record companies. And when you really, really look at it, like, why are you being negative towards something that has built the biggest that you rate the most? Surely you got to look at it and think, if they can go into these buildings and become Drake, Taylor Swift, okay, she might be independent now, but was she in the beginning? Justin Bieber, flipping, Imagine Dragons, Queen, Elton John, I can go on and on and on. Oasis. Unless you're going to look at Arctic Monkeys, who's with Domino, or Basement Jaxx, who was with bloody Excel. Because look, even Excel, they signed Adele for her to become Adele. They done their thing. Eventually, what did? They partnered up with who? Columbia, who? Sony. Look at her now. Like, show me someone, apart from Arctic Monkeys, who's with an independent label. And there's always going to be exception to the rule. So there's Arctic Monkeys, there's a Bad Bunny, but what about the rest of them? Because if that was normal, then there'll be loads of them. Central C's with a major label. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, my job when I was managing those artists was trying to maintain a common ground so we can grow them, because I know, and for me as a businessman, my ambition is to be where those niggas are. So I need to make sure that this asset, which is the artist, stays in tune, working with this company so we can grow. But the problem I find in the British label system is, which they don't have in America, is there's people in roles in the British label system that predominantly shouldn't be there in some cases. I don't know why they're there, and I don't want to knock them, but I feel like until the right people are in certain positions, then they're going to understand exactly what to do with certain artists. But I never had that case with me.
Are you saying wrong roles or wrong people in the right roles?
Wrong roles.
What are
a mixture of both.
What are the roles?
And the thing is, now because I know how the system works, I don't think it's the people's, I think it's the system's creating roles, and those roles are not what they really meant to be doing, because they've changed the meaning of those roles. So most A&Rs are just data collectors or managing paperwork and silly things. They're not developing artists. Do you know what I'm saying to you? They're not looking at artists and saying, look, I'm going to go and get you some hits, which they can do. They're not being presented like that. Do you know what I mean? Or encouraged, yeah, you go out there and find hits and give it to our roster and then make them go sky high. They're not really doing that. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's where a lot of confusion comes from. Secondly, as well, a lot of A&Rs that are in certain companies, I don't know about now, but back in the day when I was around, because I was around a lot of the labels, some of them don't understand who this person is on the environment that they come from and how to handle them. Yeah, so, and that's not the person's fault either. I just feel like as a business model, hire people. I'll give you another example. The police do it. They go and recruit sometimes from your area and police you with people from your area. Because when they was doing it before with people from country coming down into your area to police you, there's always confusion and madness. Now they're like, all right, cool. Yeah, we're gonna have some of those people there too. Yeah, because that's our people. But hey, cuz, you man over there, we want a Turkish man, we want a black man, we want this. Yeah, you man come be police now. Come into the community and start police them. You know what I mean? You know how to interact with them. When you're talking to them, they can't now have this excuse of, oh, you're being racist all the time because it's a Turkish man that's talking to you or it's a black man talking to you. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's what we kind of need in the labels. And I think they're trying it now. They're getting it better. But yeah, I think that's going to be the future of making sure that people in your position, and that's why Colin works so great. Because Colin's from the hood, he's from Tottenham. You know what I'm saying? So he knows the thing. And he's been in corporate most of his life, but he's from the streets. He's from it.
Bro, I asked Mega this question, yeah. I was like, yo, Mega, how come no one has given you like a consultancy? Yeah. And I asked you the same question, yeah. And this is not to sound bitter or hateful or whatever, because, bro, even me having my position when I got it at Polydor, it literally was the artist push for it to happen.
Okay.
And the president called me up and after like 15 minutes said, yes, I'm bringing you on board. Bro, all of my relationships, even all the things I felt I'd done, it actually didn't even get me into the door.
Yeah.
I used to apply for CVs. I'm like, yeah, I've done a Grammy-nominated album. I've done this. And I'm like, and I got this platform. Never got a call from nobody, right? And I was like, sometimes I was like, bro, what's going on? Like, no one don't think I'm good enough. I already got a track record. And I think for you, bro, I wonder what you put it down to, because you've got 20 years of supreme knowledge and insight, and even have artists who you can say were on a trajectory to be the biggest, probably at that time in the country, or one of the biggest in Dutch. Why do you feel, if at all, not saying you pay attention to it, why no one's thought, let's just bring Jam inside? Like, because bro, they know who you are. What do you think it comes down to, if you could be as honest as possible without being political?
Okay.
Because you must have thought about it.
Yeah, I used to, yeah. At one point I was like, whoa, but then I learned why. One, I haven't got enough leverage. So like you said, when you got your job at Polydor, the artists pushed for it. So you had leverage with those artists, relationships. Two, some of the people that is in those buildings, I don't have a deep enough relationship leverage with them also for them to say, yeah, we're gonna push you in because you're my guy. Because the music business is a who you know business, and the strengths of how you know them. And then three, I haven't got enough hits. So in our country, most of the people in these buildings have either built solid relationships, for example, from radio, people transferring from the radio or from the PR game, transferring PR, building relationships, partying with people, building strong friendships. All right, cool, I know this person. Yeah, I can enjoy working with you. Yeah, you can come in this position because most of the people in the buildings, they still kind of know what they're doing, most of them, 99% of them. But a lot of them are, I've worked in this building before, worked under this great person for years, learnt my trade. All right, now that person's elevated to this position because I've had all this experience working underneath this person. Now I can take their role because I've actually been groomed, is that the right word, to be in that position. And then other people is, all right, I've been in this building, I managed this artist in the beginning, I had success with this artist. Okay, they've offered me a consultancy. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
I'm going to push back a bit, bro. Yeah. If you go on LinkedIn, some of these people, bro, their jobs has come from nowhere.
I've never looked at it, to be honest with you. No, what it is they've got their people. So, like I said, the game's not about people like me developing yet. And this is why I think it's such a beautiful time now. Because 5 years from now, people like me are going to run the game. And a lot of those people in those rooms have to be afraid, because the cycle is 5 years. And every 5 years, a new cycle comes. And the new cycle, when this next cycle comes, there's going to be some great business deals for the people like myself. So when we walk into these rooms, we're going to be saying to them, okay, you can have a situation with me, but I want to bring my team into this room. And whoever's here's got to go. But at the minute, it's like those rooms are employing people that they know, they like, and they trust, so they can maintain their position. Because a lot of people are wigging it also. You know what I mean? So why would they don't know me like that, but they know that next guy like that. So they're going to make that next guy come. Yeah, you go talk to that person. And because that person that they're sending out has, for example, the name Sony attached to him, or a Warner or a Universal, they've got Soho House, they can go clubs, they can go wireless, they can go to these places with, okay, yeah, my name's XY, yeah, and I work for this company. I just want to have a conversation with you. Those brands have been so solidly built now that when you attach yourself to those brands, your conversations are quite easy. Whereas someone like me, I have to go in the mud, I have to go do some bird, I need to go and study, I need to go in the studio and learn and understand so many things. And I'm not discrediting none of the guys in those rooms, but my route into the game is very, very different. But at the same time, I'm thankful for it too, because people like me now are going to be having ownership in this marketplace. And it's a brilliant time, and I spit knowledge to all the people that's trying to get into the positions that I'm in. And I say, this is the route, don't follow that route. This is the real route. And the route I'm on is the same route that Anthony Tiff done, Birdman's done.
So who's Anthony Tiff?
TDE.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Man's doing the govy.
The man there, you know what I mean? Shrugs, like, there's been so many groups of people like myself that play the game properly in America, and we just didn't know. And artists didn't allow us to, play that position. And that's why I say to a lot of my brethren or my peers now, I say to them, I'm not really focused on anyone that's massive anymore, because I want to work with people that want to let me be me. And I am not someone that's, and I'd say this respectfully to any artist, I'm not under an artist. I'm partners with you. It's a very big difference. So I can manage you, but believe I'm going to set up a management team around you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to help craft you. I'm going to help turn you into a business, a proper business. And that takes time and effort and dedication and investment and hustling and everything. And managers don't just do that. CEOs do that. Company builders do that. You know what I'm saying to you? And I feel like all of us guys, all my peers, we're all Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos is in the music business. But just a lot of us just didn't get and understand exactly who we are. But that time's changing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, last couple of questions, bro.
Yeah,
I guess this is more, because this is, although I want it to be this is more business to business.
Yeah.
What business do you feel you operate in?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it the ownership business?
Yeah.
Is it the partnership business? Is it the management business? Is it the public? Like, what business do you feel currently now Jam's operating in?
Game to the world now. Everyone, I operate in all of the business, because we are so young in this business that people now need to come into this business and build business infrastructure in every realm. In pop music, you've got management companies like a Rock Nation. There's many of them. There's none of that in black music. In most of these record companies have either been built off country music or blues, reggae, etc., etc. And then now, because they got so much catalogue, they can use that catalogue and diversify their investments into different genres. What we don't have in our culture right now is infrastructure. And the only people we turn to for the infrastructure is the label. Whereas me and my peers, we're building that infrastructure on the ground. And for me to do that, I need to be a manager, I need to be a label, I need to be a publisher, because essentially I do all those things anyway. I need to become a booking agent eventually, because I set up artist shows from time to time. I need to have a marketing company because I do marketing, but we need to have all these infrastructures, and collectively we need to be sharing this infrastructure together and even ownership within these infrastructures collectively. And that's what I'm doing. So, and also more game now. What they've done in America is they created real ownership for people like myself and investors to build the marketplace to attract more investment. What they've done in the modern game is they put a stigma against ownership for people like ourselves. The only people they want to give ownership to is the artists. So people like myself cannot become we can't flourish like a Diddy or a Suge Knight or a Jimmy Levine or any of those people. We can't really flourish because you're giving us peanuts on pennies on a pound for something that we're giving our lives to. So I'm in the business now of ownership with the artists, infrastructure with my peers, and let's build a system that is so self-sustainable that by the time 20 years from now, we are the new Modists and Universal Records. Like, that's what we need to be doing, and that's what I'm on right now. I'm on building real infrastructure, and I'm gonna be a walking example. You know what I'm saying? And I've got other friends around me that are doing similar things. Big up my boy Sincere, he's doing it too. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And Ricky Blue's done it. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know the ins and outs, but he's done it as well. And Colin's doing it. And we need more. We need more and more and more. There's so much infrastructure opportunities for everybody to get involved in. And everyone thinks you need to be a Ricky Blue or a Colin or a Sin or me to do it. No, because that's the beauty of the music business. You could be you could be a guy from Birmingham right now, or Nottingham or Manchester, like an Adex, for example. He's doing it too. Or Newcastle, for example, or Glasgow, wherever it is. You could be anywhere in the world, but you could see there's a need for a record company, there's need for studios, there's need for a management company, there's need for a publishing company, there's need for a booking agency or a live events company. You can do all 5 of those things yourself with a team of people and launch your business and move within the market. And if we have more people thinking like that, and if you don't know how to do that, then we need to start creating systems that teach people how to do these things. Because one thing I've learned about business as well, I can't do everything and I can't be everywhere. But I need the marketplace to be so big and so valuable that if there's songs popping in Newcastle and the Newcastle crowd are in love with this music and there's one artist from there that's everyone's loving, all right, cool, there must be a next one that's opportunity. With his success, someone else can come in and capitalize off that success. Do you get what I'm saying to you? But I think we need to stop getting into this mentality of it can only be me, because we need a bigger market. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So yeah, I'm in the ownership business.